Sree Maathrey namaha. With the divine blessings of our Mother Divine Lalita Mahatripusundari and Father Divine Lord Mahadeva, we are continuing to discuss the Holy Lalita Sahasranamas, and then we started jumping into the Soundarya Lahari at the name that started revealing the Tantra secrets, and therefore started to make a brief attempt to understand Soundarya Lahari. And in those attempts, we have finished the Ananda Lahari, and in the last class, we have discussed the 42nd Slokam. Today, celebrating the very powerful Devi NavaRatris, we'll make an attempt to understand the 43rd Slokam after the prayers. Shri Kamto Matlo Sajanni Saramangalajan Kaha Shankaro Mahadeva Tvam Vande Gajananam Vimalapati Kamalakuti Pustakrudrakshasastaputi Kamakshi Pakshmalakshi Kalta Vipanchi Vibhasi Vairinchi Manojavam Marutulyavegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Vrishtam Vatatmajam Vanrutamukhyam Sri Ramadutam Sirsanamami Apadam Pahtaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Sri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyam Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sastranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane Shivashaktiyayukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Pravatum Nache Devam Devo Nakalu Kushalas Spanditumapi Athastvam Aradhyam Hari Hara Virinchadi Birapi Pranantum Stotum Va Kadamakrita Punya Prabhavati Guruvai Sarvalokanam Vishya Bhavaroginam Nidhiya Sarvavidyanam Sri Dakshinamurtiye Namaha Dhananandamayam Devam Nirmal Spatka Kruti Madaram Sarvavidyanam Hayagrivam Pasmahe. The Devi NavaRatris are considered to be what the Brahma Muhurtam, every day Brahma Muhurtam is a period typically 48 minutes before the sun rises. So it's 40 minutes before the sun is spotted in the Ushodayas or the eastern skies in the early morning. So that 40 minutes before essentially is the most suitable and apt time for doing anything that is connected to the mental well-being, or which in turn leads to the physical well-being, whether it is dhyana, meditation, practicing suktis, stutis, stotras, everything that has been given in our Vedas. That is the best time. If that time is not suitable for whatever reason, because of people working in the night shift, people working very late, then whatever time people wake up at, it's always recommended to finish the puja before the noon, because the 24 hours is split into 4 sandhyas, and before the madhyana sandhya or the 12 o'clock noon sandhya comes, we are supposed to be finishing our puja with prayaschitam, since we could not get up before the sunrise. Therefore, we are apologizing for missing the sunrise. Sun who rises every day, whether it is a Sunday or a Monday, without taking a vacation, in order to shine light upon our surface, planet surface, and to dispel the darkness, in order to ensure Earth receives the required amount of heat, sunlight, and therefore it can increase the fertility of the soil and help in growing the required feed for all the charachara jagat, that chara achara, the moving and the immobile. All the animals move, and the acharas are essentially all the plants and others which don't move, but necessarily they do need to necessarily have sunlight in order to produce oxygen from the photosynthesis. Now, this is essentially what happens during the sunrise, and the Brahma Muhurtam before the sunrise is essentially very, very good, because a lot of cosmic energy is there to be tapped in. And when we are sitting vertically to the ground, our spine, just like the DTH, the dish, receives signal from the satellite, our spine starts receiving much more cosmic energy actively. When we sleep and are parallel to the ground, we will receive 1/8 of what we can receive when we are sitting vertically to the ground with our spine erect. That is the reason all our gurus, acharyas, ask us to sit before the sunrise and do a nama japam or stotram, whatever we like. Since some of us have to travel, some of us have to do certain works at different parts of the day and night, therefore it's practically it might not be possible to wake up every day without impacting your health, because sleep is extremely important, and uninterrupted sleep of 6 to 9 hours, depending on which age group the body is in, it is mandated for the rest, recover, and recharge of the body. Just like the mobile needs to be recharged when the battery is down, from the moment we are up, we start consuming our energy. The moment we open our eyes, the energy gets dissipated. That's the reason our stotras have said, as you become conscious, the first words to come out of your mouth should be Sri Hari, Sri Hari, Sri Hari. The one Hari means the one, a thief. Sri Hari, Lakshmi's heart has been stolen by this thief, and this thief, Vishnu, now is going to take over my Stitikara Tattvam because I'm becoming awakened. So Shiva's duty is done, and the shift is now being handed over to Vishnu, the Stitikara. So therefore, that Stitikara, may he steal all the papas I'm doing and help bless me with Sri, or the prosperity. So the first 3 words that should come out of our mouth should be Sri Hari, Sri Hari, Sri Hari. The moment we open our eyes, the energy starts getting transmitted. Since we slept for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, the energy is brewing to the edge of our body container's capacity. As we open, the energy starts getting reflected. Majority of us probably check the mobile phone or look at something. Therefore, typically our ancestors have suggested a shloka. As we wake up, we look at our hands. Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamule tu Govinda, Prabhate Karadarshanam. And when we look at it, the energy is actually going and hitting the palms, and it's reflecting back onto the Agya Chakra and the forehead. Therefore, ensuring that we are not losing those first initial rays of energy that is getting transmitted out. Now, the 9 nights and 10 days of Devi NavaRatris that lead up to Vijayadashami essentially act as the Brahma Muhurta Kalam for the whole year. Even if you are not able to wake up for whatever reason before the sunrise the rest of the days, if you make an effort to chant the mantras, stotras of your favorite god, those will give a 1,000-fold result during these Navaratras. And on the Vijayadashami day is the most victorious day. On that day, whatever you do will turn into victorious pursuit for you in your life. Therefore, it is called Vijayadashami, like Lord Rama won over Ravana on Vijayadashami. Sri Krishna killed many Rakshasas and established Dharma on this planet and celebrated the reinstallation of Dharma on Vijayadashami. And there are many such stories in our Puranas and Upanishads. When we read them, you will see the importance of Vijayadashami. And for us, when we make it a habit to do some sadhana during the 9 nights and 10 days of this Devi Navaratris followed by Vijayadashami, the 10 airs that get activated whenever we do Namaste will start becoming extremely active. The Agni Tattvam in the body is generally controlled by the thumb, and then the water Tattvam is controlled essentially by the little finger, and then air is essentially controlled by the index finger, and the ring finger essentially controls the earth Tattvam, and the middle finger essentially controls the space Tattvam. So this is how the Panchabhutas, when they are joined on the both sides and we do Namaste, there are 10 airs. We take prana, apana, samana, udhana, vyana, naga, krukara, dhananjaya, devadatta. These 10 airs essentially are getting activated, leading us to a very active and life full of ease, controlling and removing and reducing the dis-ease that gets caused. Whenever one of these elements is disturbed, our body produces a state of dis-ease. For example, if anxiety is increased, vertigo is increased, it essentially talks that the Prithvi Tattva and the air and the space are in imbalance. We do the Chin Mudra. Fire is the root element of our body because the temperature needs to be maintained. A lot of us think it is the air, but it is the fire. When we do Chin Mudra, therefore, we say in Dakshinamurti is always Guru, the Guru is smiling with a Chin Mudra. When we are smiling, the capacity of the body to receive cosmic energy increases by 8x more. Therefore, it is extremely important to stay in a state of Chirumandahasam, a gentle, mild smile. So, the fundamental rule in our Vedas and Yoga Sastras is whenever an element needs to be balanced, we will hold the tip of the thumb and the tip of the index finger. And whenever we need to increase that element, we have to hold this thumb to the, for example, I need to increase the air tattva in the body. Okay, if I need to increase the air tattva, I need to do a mudra of keeping the tip of my thumb at the base of the finger, which is responsible for that Panchabhutam. If I need to reduce the air tattvam in my body, I need to fold this finger and touch the base of the thumb. And none of these exercises should be done in one go for more than 5 minutes. And this should be consulted with an Ayurvedic doctor or a guru who has a knowledge based on what are the disease elements that we have in our body. The guru will recommend what needs to be done. Pregnant women should not be doing, people with heart issues and other ailments should not be doing. There are significant outcomes that can be accomplished to reduce BP, reduce anxiety, reduce vertigo. Now, all of these are codified in our Vedic Sastras. All these essentially give multifold result during these 9 nights and 10 days. Therefore, a lot of people start their spiritual sadhanas, new mantra diksha, or essentially starting to chant Lalita Sahasranamam, Vishnu Sahasranamam, whatever their favorite god, Krishna Sahasranamam, Shiva Sahasranamam, during these very auspicious 9 nights of transformation and the 10th day of extreme victory, Vijaya Dasami. Now, that is the reason, that is the importance of Vijaya Dasami. Now we will make an attempt to understand the 43rd Slokam of Soundarya Lahari. The Slokam itself starts with Duno Dudvantam Nastulita Dalitendi Varavanam Ganastigdas Laksham Chiguranikurambam Tavasive Yadi Yam Saurabhyam Sahajam Upalabdam Sumanaso Vasantyasmin Manye Valavadana Bati Vitapina. The Slokam itself starts with Duno Dudvantam. The darkness is being dunotu, essentially is being dispelled, like a strong air, which is called in Sanskrit Prabhanjanam, comes and blows away the darkest of the clouds in the sky and clearing the sky. Dhvantam. Dhvantam is darkness, the blackish blue clouds that are full of, darkening clouds that will block the sunlight and make us feel as if it is an eclipse or as if it is, the dark night. And Duno Dudvantam Nastulita Dalitendi Varavanam. Tulita Naha means mine. Na Tulita Dalitendi Varavanam essentially means Tulita Dalita Indi Varavanam. Vanam is very simple for us to understand. It's a forest. Indi Vara essentially means there's a kind of a lotus which is bluish black in color. And Dalita Tulita means essentially the forest is so full of fully blossomed dark lotuses. We all have, why should I say we, I have enough ignorance where the flowers of ignorance are blossoming just like the lotuses in this bluish black lotus forest, which are opening and covering the surface. Therefore, the surface is nowhere to be seen. And people think this whole place is filled with this dark bluish lotuses. And that's essentially what this line means. Duno dudvantam nastulita daritendi varavanam. Ganastigdas laksham chikuranikuram tava shive. If you were to look at any Lalita Devi's picture, you will not be able to see the hair of the mother. You probably will see, a little hair that is coming at the back of the Kiritam. In the 42nd Slokam, we discussed about mother's crown or Kirita, talked about the Dwadasa Adityas, the 12 Adityas who become the precious gems and jewels in mother's Kiritam and emitting the different wavelengths of light, and in order to and how it appears like a rainbow. We discussed that in the 42nd Slokam. In this Slokam, when you need to focus on mother's hair, the easiest way to focus on her, and that is the reason there's a clue that Jagadguru is also giving. Ganastigdas laksham chikura nikurambam tava shive. Why is he referring to mother as Shive? To represent the Ardhanarishwara Rupam of mother. When Shiva, Jata Jotadhari, Shiva has the matted hair, which is unentangled in the beautiful color of copperish, orangish black. The reason Shiva's hair turned into copperish orange is Ganga is locked in his matted hairs. And this brings Shiva a great name called Aruna Jateshwara. Whoever thinks of this name Aruna Jateshwara, he or she is making an effort to reduce his ignorance or her ignorance by thinking of the color of Shiva's hair. And here Jagadguru is saying, when you can think of mother as the Ardhanarishwara Rupam, it's very easy for us to think of that hair, because when you cannot see and envision mother's hair, think of Shiva's hair to be mother's hair. If you can envision mother's hair, that black, radiating black hair, thick, matted, unentangled, and spreading divine fragrance. That's essentially what Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya is talking about. For that, one needs to have access to mother, to her interior rooms of a place. When we consider a person a mother, mother will give us access to the interior most places of the home where others are not permitted, but mother will permit the kids. And in those rooms, mother also removes the kiritam and keeps it to the side to show her beautiful, thick, black, matted hair. You might think mother is Purvaja, but how come her hair never turns gray? This is where the Kali Tattvam of mother comes in, where we say, because she is beyond time and the keeper of time, her hair never turns into gray strands. And therefore, I'm being reminded of the Navaratna Malika of Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya, where in the last 4 lines of it, Jagadguru talks about Kalika Timira Kuntalantagana Brangam Mangala Virajanim Chulika Shikara Malika Malaya Vallika Surabhi Saurabham Kalika Maduraganda Mandala Manoharan and Saroruham Kalika Makila Nayakim Manasi Bhavayami Paradevata. He says, Kalika Timira Kuntalantagana Branga Mangala Virajani. Mother Kali Devi does not tie not her hair. It is spread. Generally, married women are supposed to tie it. But Mother Goddess Kali, the keeper of time, is spreading her hair. So the moment we look at her picture, the tongue and the hair are the ones that catch our attention. By looking at her hair, we basically are lost, scared sometimes, looking at it, saying, why mother this Bhikara Rupam? In the process, looking at her hair, which is present, like Nataraja's hair everywhere, it helps us reduce our ignorance. Chulika Shikara Malika Valaya Mallika Surabhi Saurabham, that beautiful hair that is spread everywhere has a brilliant fragrance. This is what Jagadguru is also saying in the 3rd line of our Soundarya Lahari Slokam of the 43rd, where he says, Yadiyam Saurabhyam Sahajam Upalabdam Sumanaso. This fragrance is something that can only be sensed by the Manasu. Why? We get a Sambrani, mother of all, she likes all the acharas that we have to do in the puja, right? Like Gandham, Pushpam, Dhupam, but Dhupam is something that she loves the most. And when we do offer Dhupam, there is a Dhupam called Dasangam that you can get in any puja shop. Dasangam, Dasa Angam, 10 different herbs are mixed, and that Dhupam is the favorite, Dasangulam is the favorite of mother. When a devotee is on the path of mother, her mantram is Panchadasi, which gives salvation to the devotees. Grihasthas are recommended to be meditating upon Panchadasi, and this needs to be given by a guru. Now, this Panchadasi, when you take Dasangam, you add elaichi, cardamom, elaichi or cardamom, cinnamon, and star anise, and then you need to add a drop of cow ghee, and then you need to add the cloves or lavangas without the head. With the head has a different connotation. You can put it with the head also, but then it's going to explode. Now, when you add these 5 to the 10 dasangas, it becomes Pancha Dasangam. And this is something that generally gets revealed either by a very elevated level of a guru, or this gets revealed in dhyana typically. And today, celebrating the NavaRatris, this, Guruji told me when I was actually going on Panchadasangam, and some of these were over a period of time selectively revealed in the dhyana process. And that's how I have learned with the grace of Mother. And Guruji later validated that whatever was revealed is very much true and intact. And in the many Upanishads of Devi, they are listed as well. When we put the clove or lavanga with the head, it will eliminate all antar and bahir sutrus that we have. We have kama, krodha, mada, matsarya, lobha, mohas as the internal enemies. We have many enemies outside who are always, probably praying for our downfall also. All these enemies in and out will be eliminated with a clove. Now, the reason I said you remove the clove's head and put essentially is that clove's head typically explodes, and if you don't take proper care of how to manage the dhupam, those embers might spread out onto your clothes, dhotis, saris, and it can make a hole through. And you are not supposed to do puja with a vastram that has a hole in it, especially a hole made by the fire. So you have to be very careful. Removing that head is the safest. Now, when you put these 5 elements, star anise, cinnamon, cardamom, a drop or 2 of cow ghee, and then clove into the Panchadasangam Sambrani, Dasangam Sambrani, it becomes Panchadasangam. And that is the smell of mother's hair that that's the closest it goes to replicating the fragrance of that Surabhi Saurabham that is coming from mother's hair. Then the 4th or 3rd line, what did we discuss? Yadiyam Saurabhyam Sahajam Uplabdam Sumanaso Vasantyasmin Manye Valavadana Vati Vitapina. Mother's great devotees, we have discussed the 13 devotees of Mother who are the greatest devotees of her. Right, starting with Manu, Lopamudra Devi, and Agastya, Dattatreya, Surya, Chandra. Right now, amongst them, Sati Devi, Indra's wife, is also a great devotee of Mother. Because of her devotion, Indra became the king of gods, and that is the reason the flowers that Sati Devi offers to Mother with a lot of devotion. Mother kept those flowers in her hair, and those pushpas, those flowers, when were returned to Sati Devi, Sachi Devi, not Sati Devi, Sachi Devi, she took those flowers and took them back to her garden, and the plants which offered those flowers grabbed those flowers in order to imbibe that fragrance. And from then on, they started giving the flowers with this divine fragrance that was borrowed from mother's hair. This essentially talks about, this is the fourth line that talks about how the flowers from Indra's garden essentially borrowed the fragrance, the divine fragrance that emits from mother's hair. Now, this is a very, very powerful slokam that all of us should chant every day. Teach this to everyone at home. Duno dudvantam nastulita daltendi varavanam ganastigdas laksham chikro nikurambam tava shive yadiyam saurabhyam sajam upalabdam sumanaso vasantyasmin manye valavadana vitapinam. One of the gurus explained a very romantic screenplay that happened. One day, when mother was sitting in the sabha on the left lap of her husband Mahakameshwara, Kameshwara, lying down, looking at mother's face, was chanting something. And mother is in the whole sabha. She looked at her husband and he's saying something. So she said, "What is that you want to say? All the kids are in the sabha." He said, your hair on the forehead is falling in the alphabets of La, Li, Ta, La, Li, Ta, La, Li, Ta. So she smiled gently, and when she smiled, the lines from Lalita Sahasranamam, Kameshwara Mukhaloka Kalpita Sri Ganeshwara, when mother and father looked at each other and exchanged energies through that very powerful vision, then was born Lord Ganesha. And in Lalita Sahasranamam, this happens in the battlefield. Kameshwara Mukhaloka, the Parameshwara is moving with Kama to become one with mother. This is exactly what happens in a devotee who is starting to pray to mother, that Mahakundalini, when she starts vibrating, she starts to engage in vision to look at her husband, who is the Bhogi Shiva sitting in the top in Sahasraram. When the Kundalini starts vibrating, Shiva starts looking down. From his meditation, he opens eyes and sees what's happening to my dear wife. She is vibrating with energy. Is she anywhere close to me? And therefore, he looks at her. And when both of them look at each other, our Muladhara Chakram, controlled by Lord Ganesha, gets opened up. And Muladhara Chakram gets opened up, the Kundalini starts the ascent. This is the very, very famous Vatapi Ganapatim Bhaje song, also talks about it. Now, Kameshwara Mukhaloka Kalpita Sri Ganeshwara, Maha Ganesha Nirbinna Vigna Yantra Prahashita. Once that Maha Ganesha is born, he does remove all the obstacles that are there in our spiritual progress, and he will turn every obstacle into pieces and powder, and therefore helping us ascend the Kundalini. And Grihasthas pray with this stotram to mother, the Maya and Ajnanam Tvam will go away. You might be thinking about the third Slokam of Soundarya Lahari. Avidyanam antastimira mihiradvepanagar jadanam chaitanyastabakamakaranda shruti jari daridranam chintamani gunanika janmajalado nimagnanam tamshra muraripu varahasya bhavati. That Slokam essentially talks about the avidya that's internally filled, that is to do with the inner yoga, where it's not easy for everyone. At least it's not easy for me to close my eyes and go from here to here to see that lamp. Nana Chitra Gadodara Stita Mahadeepa Pravabhaswaram. There's a divine lamp here that is making me Shivam. Once that goes, I'll turn into Shavam. And that light's radiance is what is hitting through all the different small holes that are there in my body, through which the life forces are expressing me being alive. And that is essentially something that I can't experience. Therefore, in the Soundarya Lahari part, Jagadguru makes it easy for insignificant beings like me to come to my level, so I can look at the externally visible hair and continue to chant. Again, in Lalita Sahasranamam, Devakari Samudyata, Udyadbhanu Sahasrava, Chaturbha Samrita, Devaka, and Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta. When mother emerged out of the Chidagni Kunda, all the devas offered themselves in that fire that Parashambhu started. And when he invited mother from the external side of the cosmos, she came in, and that's the reason she's called Paradevata. And when all the gods jumped into the fire, offering themselves for mother to come and ascend from the Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta, Yama became mother's hair. So when we continue to look at mother's hair and do dhyanam on mother and father's, or mother or father's hair, the Akala Marana Dosham goes away from one's horoscope, one's destiny, and one will live a full-fledged life, will see 3 generations, and then he or she will depart very peacefully. This is what the scriptures say and has been proven many, many, many times, provided we maintain dharmic pravartana, the walk of dharma in other aspects of life. We can't continue to do adharma and keep chanting one stotram or slokam and say, it should give me the results. When we are balanced on all the limbs of dharma, only then the stotras, shlokas will work effectively the way it is prescribed. When we don't do other things, these won't give the results that they are bound to give or they are meant to give. Now, in the Navaratra Malika Stotram, Kalika Timira, so I said in that there is a line that talks about Kalika Madraganda Mandala Manohara Nanasaroruham. Shiva, looking at that beautiful Kalika Devi, looked at her, saying, lifted her chin gently, looked into the eyes of mother and said, am I any good looking? My hair is matted. I am completely smeared with ashes. I have Sarpa Bhushna. I have snakes as my ornaments. Why are you mad after me? And therefore, when Mother Goddess Kali is going after Shiva, he lifts her chin. When mother is shyfully lowering her eyes, he glances into her eyes and looks at the reflection of himself in her eyes and sees that beautiful form of himself. That's what mother is longing for. That's exactly what happens in our Kundalini awakening. When Kundalini is getting activated and we continue to do any sadhana of any god with any mantra, the Parameshwara in us continues to glance into the Kundalini, and with that attractive magnet power of Parameshwara's vision, the Kundalini starts ascending up. And that essentially is also captured in the Devi Navaratna Malika Stotram in the earlier stanzas, where Jagadguru says, Kundala Trivida Kona Mandala Vihara Sattala Samullasat Pundarika Mukhabedinim Prachanda Banu Basvajwalam. So it is severing through the different lotuses, and these are the lotuses that Jagadguru has listed as which are there. They appear fully blossomed. In the second line, Ganastik, not Ganastik, the Dunodudvantam Nasturita Dalitendi Varavanam. So our body has a lot of these lotuses which are meant to be blossomed, and we think they are open in us. And even when they are open with ignorance. But when the Shiva glances into the eyes of mother, that's when these flowers are pierced through by the Kundalini that is ascending up. And that's what, when a Grihastha chants this, he or she will get Vairagyam after experiencing and enjoying all the pleasures of Grihasthashrama. They will see their kids getting married. They will see how the grandkids are born. Therefore, the extension of their lineage continues, and then slowly they get Vairagya. When a student does it, he or she gets the conceptual level clarity without any confusion. Any aspirant who does it, he or she will start understanding the conceptual level, and all the distractions that actually come will go away from one's path, therefore paving the clear path to spirituality. This is a brief attempt at the 43rd Slokam of Soundarya Lahari. We also made a brief attempt, to the extent our mother allowed, to discuss about the importance of Devi NavaRatris and some of the Yoga Sutras and the secrets of yoga with the Panchabhuta Tattvam that is connected to the 43rd Slokam. Stay blessed, spread the bliss around. Sree Maathrey, namaha. Mangalam Guru Shri Chandramauli Ishwarage Shakti Ganapati Sharadambige Shankaracharyanige Kala Bhairavage Kali Durgige ವೀರಧೀರ ಸೂರ ಹನುಮ ಮಾರುತಿ ಚರಣಗೆ ಮಂಗಳಂ ಗುರುಶ್ರೀ. Stay blessed. Sree Maathrey, namaha.